everyone, welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. Today I'm just going to do another little 5-minute art. This is on a 10 centimetre by 10 centimetres ceramic tile, or 4 inches by 4 inches. They're always a great size to practice, or maybe to try out colours to see what the colours look like together, or practice some of your techniques. And then you can always turn those into a coaster if you'd like them, or if you don't, you can scrape the paint off and then use it as a base on something else. And so you haven't wasted too much in your process of trying things out. Now today I'm going to use mostly Mont. I've got quite a lot of on my shelf there that I'd pre-mixed quite some time ago. These are the Mont, mostly the Mont Satin tube paints, and I've mixed them with Australian Floetrol. And I'm going to do my swipe with the Amsterdam Lamp Black, which I've mixed with Australian Floetrol, 1 part paint to 3 parts Floetrol. And the idea with the drizzle swipe is you drizzle the paints on, and then you swipe over with your cell activator, then you wreck with a skewer, and then spin. So drizzle, swipe, wreck, spin. This technique was taught to me online by Kathleen Miller, with paint pouring by Kathleen Miller. She's been doing this technique for quite some years now. And so if you go on her channel, you'll see her do quite a few of those. So without further ado, I will get started. One thing to mention, make sure that your paints aren't too thin, because if they're too thin, they will muddy together. And people often say, why do my paints get muddy? Well, it's usually because they're too thin and the paints sort of blend together. Whereas if your paints are a little bit thicker, then they'll hold their own integrity better without sort of mixing in with everything else. So I'm just waiting for the watch to go to 4:15. There we go. 4:15. The first colour I'm putting down is the Mont Satin Cobalt Blue. So I'm just going to literally drizzle the paint. Could probably be a little bit thicker than this, a little bit thin, but anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. Next is the Mont pouring paint Gold, which I've actually got in a little squeezy bottle. It's always easier if you're doing a drizzle swipe if you're got your paints in the squeezy bottles, and you can purchase those from many different places nowadays. This is the Mont Dimensions Pearl Sapphire, which is a beautiful blue. This is all the blues I'm using today. And then we've got the Mont pouring paint Bronze. So I'm just trying to fill up the gaps so that we can't see any base. You can actually put a base down first if you want to, and then when you do your swipe, that base colour can come through. But because I'm just doing a small piece, I haven't bothered to put a base down at all because I know I'm going to cover it up. Mont Dimensions Ultramarine Blue. How bright is that? It's beautiful. And then the Mont Satin Cerulean Blue, which I have put some dragonfly glaze in there by the look of it, just to give it a bit of sparkle. As you can see, those colours are all blending together. It is a little bit thin. I would have preferred it to be a little bit thicker than that, but anyway, that's what we've got. Sometimes when you have your paints pre-mixed, you've really got to check them beforehand for consistency. And just burst any bubbles. Now I'm going to do a swipe. I'll just use this little offset spatula. I'm just putting the cell activator on there, like that. And now I'm just gently going to swipe down. And up come those beautiful cells. Lovely. It's kind of mist at the top there. Okay. So just pop some more paint on the back of the palette knife, or as I like to call it, my offset spatula. It is a palette knife. So just starting from the top, very gently, just enough pressure that the cell activator goes onto the surface but without dragging the paint off, and then over the edge. Now I'm just taking a wooden skewer and I'm just going to do what we call wreck, so just drawing some little spirals on there. So you can see this paint is a little bit thin, but it's still going to look very pretty. And just do your wrecking wherever you want to, or however you want, or as many as you want. Just do a few other little ones. Now when I spin this out, those wrecking lines will skew off a little bit. I like them to maintain their shape a bit, but we do need to get a little bit of paint off there. So I'll just pop that onto the turntable here. And then I'll just give it a little spin. I don't want to spin too much. Okay, here we go. Just realised the overhead light was really reflecting off that, so I've just turned it off. Okay, so now I'll just quickly neaten up my edges. Make sure the edges are completely covered. And there's my little drizzle swipe wreck spin, as you can see. And the time is 4:20. And I'll now bring you down for a close-up. So here we are coming down for a close-up. As you can see, the bronze and the gold against that blue is just beautiful. The wrecking lines, and we've got some nice cells in there. It's just a really pretty coaster. And once I've put a coat of resin on there, with a little bit of bling in it as well, it'll be really lovely. So for anyone that likes blues, the dark blue and the other blues in there, really pretty. So that's just a very quick one, guys, just to show you, it doesn't have to take too long. I do think my paints could have been a little bit thicker. Should have checked the consistency before starting, but the end result is still very nice. So yeah. Okay, so if you've got any questions, leave them in the box below, and I'll get back to you. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.